Welcome back to another episode of FiveNOut. How you doing, Ron?
I'm good.
All right. We got 4 topics today and a quick out.
Okay.
Now, you sent over some questions you wanted me to ask,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna start off with NFL first. All right.
I'm listening.
First question for you.
Just know I'm in the mood for this too. So let's go.
Okay.
All right. I'm listening.
Okay.
All right.
Are
Go
you
on.
sure?
I'm positive.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right. Mr. Editor, can you please have a timer for this as well? All right. First question for you.
Okay.
The Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
They got a new coach, Ryan Morris, right?
Raheem. Yes.
Yep. Well deserved. Should have had it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First question I got for you.
Yes.
With all the stuff that's going on with the Falcons right now, should the Falcons bring in Cam Newton for a tryout to see if he can make the team?
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely. Who's the backup?
It would be what? Heineke and Ritter.
So
And
so both of them are
I think
backups.
they're getting a QB in the draft this year anyway.
Man, go get Cam. Cam's gonna bring in revenue. Cam in the right situation can give you more productivity than what's the boy named Baker.
Baker Mayfield?
Yes, there.
Okay.
He got Bijan. He got Drake London. He got Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
Who's the other receiver on this side? Cordell Patterson.
Oh, the running back.
Yeah. They got guys. Yeah.
Yeah, of course they got guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Why not?
And
plus, to me, one more thing is too the stage is not as high over there. It's not a huge demand for them to be great over there. Versus like when he went to New England, it was a lot of high expectations.
What?
Yes, New England. He's falling behind Tom.
Well, I mean, my thought of it is you bring in the best people you can, and you kick the tires on everybody, right? So, in my opinion, yeah, you bring them, right? I don't see why you wouldn't. This whole thing about like, oh, he'll distract the locker room. To me, that's just bullshit.
Man, listen, if they're bringing in Tim Tebow to go play tight end at Jacksonville, and he was gone for like 9 years, you could bring in Cam Newton.
That's not a good example.
Why is that?
Because like it's fucking Urban Meyer, and it was all bullshit, and he shouldn't have did that shit anyway. I'm not gonna put Cam on the level of Tebow.
No, but I'm saying this: if you're giving people chances for jobs, because at the end of the day, it's about you giving them a chance for a job. The dude was removed for a very long time.
He shouldn't have got that. He shouldn't have.
So I'm saying that's what I'm saying in the case. I'm saying in the case of Cam Newton. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I would equate it more to like, all right, look at the people they had in the squad already. Like Cam is better than Heineke.
Yeah,
right now.
And Ritter.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like you bring in Cam, veteran experience. You already hit the nail on the head with the money. Like when you think about owner, bottom line is the most important thing for everybody. So Cam's gonna bring in revenue.
My only thing about Cam is, can you get in line?
Get in line, like, is that really a thing nowadays? Like, what do you mean by get in line?
Meaning, like, you're
sit your ass down.
Yeah, of course he is.
I don't know. You mean some of his takes on his 4th and 1 and other stuff. People can have their opinions.
Everybody got an opinion.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, he's coming in there, right, for a chance to compete to be on the squad. Now, if they get a QB pretty high, which I believe they will, you got a rookie QB, you got Cam Newton. Cam Newton could be the bridge, if anything.
Okay.
Right. So I think it's definitely something that they should look into.
All
right. So, we still got a minute left, but it's fine.
Yeah, we're moving on.
Yeah,
I got a question.
We both agree.
Yeah, I got a question for you. Does it matter if we skip around?
No. Go ahead.
Okay, I got a question for you. How often do you watch Gilbert Arenas' podcast?
A lot more now than before.
Okay.
So I'll say like I look at least 3 to 4 clips a day.
Okay. Did you hear their takes about Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
Okay. And my question to you now is, whose side are you on?
Side is in what?
And sides in the sense of the two people that was debating, because they were debating against each other. So
and
yes, whose side?
They were debating different shit.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, like it's something that came up that wasn't really even in the topic of discussion. They created a debate that wasn't really a debate.
Before you go further, I think we should explain to our viewers.
Oh yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So Kenyon Martin, Gilbert Arenas, they were debating the fact that Kyrie Irving may or may not be on the Olympic team based on the controversy surrounding him this past season.
Mm-hmm.
With the Amazon link, you know, upset about.
Mm-hmm.
And the question that Kenyon Martin was saying was like, well, look, they gotta, if there might be a reason that Kyrie's not on the team, the Olympic team, which is for that because of that book, and Gilbert just went off. They were both right. Here's what I think they were debating two different things. The part that Kenyon was saying was like, all right, if Kyrie doesn't make the team, this could be a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
And Gilbert was like, fuck that. Like nobody's really like there's not really a demand for him not to be on the team right now.
Mm-hmm.
And by having that conversation, it kind of started a discussion about him possibly not being on the team.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I felt about it.
Okay. Let's not forget also, it ain't just about what Kyrie posted, but it's also how Kyrie carried his interviews. So that's another issue. That was another issue too, and since how he carried it.
Who gives a shit?
They do.
No,
they do.
No,
they do. But again, that's what I'm saying. Like that was the whole point of the debate between Gilbert and Kenyon Martin, right? Where like a lot of people, you know, they enter into a lot of conversations, and like, especially like this conversation it's an emotional conversation, right? So with an emotional conversation, you're going to pick a side, right? So if you remove your emotions away from the situation, there's two sides to every conversation, whether we want to agree with it or disagree with it, right? So from like your standpoint, right, I'm totally agree about what you're saying, right? So I'm not disagreeing with you, but I do see the other side of it if somebody finds what a person is saying is offensive, or if they're not saying enough.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. It ain't just about the book. Because I'm just hearing this from other people and
you're talking about like his reaction.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. That's. I thought you were talking about just how he carries himself in interviews.
No.
Okay.
No, his response to the post. Yeah.
Look, that's all well and good, right?
Mm-hmm.
But look, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was talking about this at all. Nobody was saying shit about Kyrie Irving in this aspect at all until they decided to bring it up.
Wait a minute.
Let's get back to the point about what they were talking about for the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where honestly I did side with Kenyon Martin only from this standpoint. Gilbert Arenas has too much takes where it's about him, it's about I. There's so much I in his takes. It's not enough like a we thing, because he was saying a lot of factual stuff, but then like I said before, like for like a lot of other people, right? Whether it's Stephen A, whether it's Shannon Sharp, because we all are human, you know, we're not perfect, right? Mm-hmm. The longer your take is, right, and the more you speak, you're going to have people like James, Justin, don't matter, right? We're going to find loopholes in your conversation. Mm-hmm. And so for Gilbert, on his side makes a lot of sense. But here's one thing I will say about Gilbert, right? We are not as loved outside of our country compared to what we are inside of our country, right? And so that being said, right, if the committee feels like this person is bringing in bad energy, bad press to us, they can say that, and especially because they are not as protected away from the States compared to what they are here in the States.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000%, Greg. Right. Here's the flip side of it.
Mm-hmm.
What press was there? Like in recent, like in the most recent time, like the press, there wasn't. I haven't seen anything in regards to it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, all right, if this is a non-story at this point, where nobody is really like talking about it, why bring it back up?
I mean, great point, but let's not act like people forgot to, though. But that's a great point. That's a great point. I'm not going to.
It's kind of like, all right, like when your girl mad at you.
Right? Okay.
Your girl mad at you,
mm-hmm.
and time goes by, like shit is cool, everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got that, like your girl's like homegirl that you don't like come over, say some shit, and now she think about it again, and now y'all arguing about some old shit.
That's true, but then I'm also, that's true, but also I'm looking at it like this too, right? It's not just like I'm going 1v1. I'm going 1v30. I'm going against 30 other people's opinions also.
Hey, man. You play to win the game.
Right.
Kyrie is one of the best point guards on this planet.
I think he should be on the USA team to wrap it up.
Yeah,
I think he should. I think he should.
And like this was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
This whole discussion on Gilbert's podcast was unnecessary.
Gotcha.
That's how I look at it. Like what Kenyon Martin said, like is true, right? And what Gilbert was retorting with was true, but it was just unnecessary. That did not need to come out.
All right. Well, let's circle back to football.
All right.
And since you got this ugly hat on, I have.
Fam, don't do that shit. Like, I've known you forever. And I can be like, all right, bro, I got pictures of all of us. You do. But you need to start having some of my recorded statements too. But anyways, how does it feel to have, first off, it's a two-part question. Okay. Two-part question is this. First question is this: how you feel about the hire? Mm-hmm. Second part question is this one of the best hires since you've been a Raider fan? Okay. Well, how do I feel about the hire? Ecstatic. Like, okay. There's 31 NFL teams, and then there's the Raiders. Mm-hmm. Right? We're more than just the NFL team. Did I make it 7 black coaches now or 6? Okay, 6. No, 6. So I go. For us, we're more than just a team, right? Mm-hmm. It's more than a brand too. Mm-hmm. Like it's if you look at our culture, mm-hmm. right, and the history of a lot of shit in this country, mm-hmm. like since the 60s, right? Mm-hmm. And the Raiders were synonymous with a lot of things that I support, right? I like NWA, right? Mm-hmm. The Bad Boy Pistons is cool, like hip hop, like winning too. Earlier, like not so much recently. Mm-hmm. Don't, yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I love AP. I love the energy. I love how the team reacted to him. Mm-hmm. We actually look like a fucking football team and not just a clothing line. You still forget the fact that we can't be cursing. Okay. Yeah, keep going. Let's go. Look, other than that, like, nah, as AP said, like, we gonna smoke our shit and talk our shit. Yeah, I'm gonna keep preaching. All right. So, in the other part of it, when we look at keep going. When we look at the other part of it, in terms of it being like the best hire since I've been a Raider fan, which is 1989, right? I got baby pictures and Raider shit, so that's when I started. Right? Okay, yeah. We just know who the coach was at 89.
Stop it. Get some help.
Gotcha. So outside of that, the only two people I would say comes close because we've been bad for a long time.
Oh, I know.
Right. So it's Art Shell, his first stint, not the second one, mm-hmm. and John Gruden, mm-hmm. right? First stint. Mm-hmm. But Art Shell, like both of those guys, it started good and ended bad, right? They like you don't know what's gonna happen with AP, but like based on how it started, it feels right.
I got a question for you. Yeah. I don't know how much time we have left, but I got a question for you. Do you have AP over was it Callahan? Was it Callahan? Who was the coach that took him that played against them in the Bucks?
Yeah.
Was Callahan? You have AP over him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just asking a question.
No. All right. So since we're here, let's talk about it. No.
Okay.
Hey, that motherfucker is nowhere near this list. Look. So Callahan.
Wait a minute.
We traded him to the. We traded John Gruden to the Bucks. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
All right. So we both met in the Super Bowl after that. So he had John Gruden's squad.
Yes.
Do you know what he did Super Bowl week?
Yeah, I know the story.
All right. So
I know the story.
How am I going to highly rate a coach that switches up the game plan a few days before the Super Bowl and is one of the reasons for our center to have a mental breakdown and be AWOL for the fucking game?
Yeah.
He sabotaged the team.
Hey, listen, I'm just asking the question because I had
he's nowhere near this list.
I
don't even know why we talked about it.
He's tight.
So, all right.
He's tight.
What's next? Because like you said that name and it's him and DeMarcus Russell.
He's tight.
What?
Yep, him and DeMarcus Russell. Those are two that
make my neck hot.
What's the next one?
What is the next one? Let's talk about all this scoring in the NBA.
Yeah. How do you feel about
it? Well, I'm going to go on the record again. Right now, well, not right now. I've been saying this for a long time. In this season, everybody is playing professional pickup. Everyone's playing professional pickup ball.
Why is it?
Because no one takes the season really that serious. Especially like the biggest ones from a defensive aspect. Did you see how many people had over 20 points for the Pacers?
Mm-hmm.
And the other team has Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Yeah. And don't get me started on Kevin Durant because it doesn't even help his case. How are you going to go into the news talking about you the GOAT and then you were popping off 20 points? I don't know too many people who say they're the GOAT. They're during the GOAT conversation and their teammates dropping 62 points.
It's different.
What do you mean?
All right, so...
Well, hold on. What were we addressing? Are we addressing KD or are we addressing all these points being scored?
The points.
Okay, I'm listening.
All right, so what was it? The hand checking rule was abolished in like 2001, right? And then the defensive 3 seconds was modified in 2004, I believe, something like that. All right, so the NBA has legislated defense out of the game, and it's not just the NBA. Same thing with football and a lot of other sports. People like scoring, and when it comes to trying to get all these big TV contracts and trying to get the money, they want people to watch their product. You don't want to see people getting elbowed like down the lane, like getting bumped off the ball, like all these turnovers, and the score being 65-72. You don't want that. You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. I got some fight back for you though.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's not just one thing or the other. It's not black and white. It's always gray.
Right.
Like everything is gray. Like it's multiple things as to the reason, but I don't think that people are looking at the fact that the refs and the NBA as a whole has kind of shied away from hard-nosed defense. But even still, if you look at how the teams were constructed back in the 90s or and further back, right? Them motherfuckers couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
They couldn't shoot.
So
now you got centers that are shooting 40% from three.
All right.
That's different.
Let's talk basketball. You ready?
Good.
All right, so let's talk basketball. So I was having this conversation last night with somebody at the bar, and he asked me a similar question. The real difference between the 90s and now, guys value the game differently. A lot of it for bread standpoint. You know, people are playing like honestly, I feel like a lot of guys in the league, right? They're playing so they can stay in the league and possibly be traded to other leagues. A lot of these teams ain't really playing to win. A lot of these guys are playing so they're showing that they're still available to play in the NBA instead of them getting bounced to the G League. Because like you brought up football, right? Did you not? So like you make a great point though, right? Because because all the rules had changed certain things up, but you're still seeing elite defense in the season and in the playoffs. In the NBA, you're not seeing elite defense in the season. That's why most of these teams, when it comes playoff time, they don't know really how to turn it on. That's why like most of the teams that do well, they are a team because they're already doing team things. That's why like teams like the Bucks, they're not. No one's talking about their offense. Everyone's talking about their defense because in the sense of what the rollover is going to be because that's what they were prior to them getting Dame.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Before we move off this.
Okay.
The best defensive team in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
You put them against the Warriors from 2016. With the modern day NBA rules.
Mm-hmm.
Do they not get their asses busted?
Who? The Pistons?
Yeah. Or the defensive team from the 90s. They get cooked.
Yeah, because the values are different. But I agree with you though, with the value because the values are different. But
people nowadays are just way more skilled.
So are we talking about today's rules or back then?
Today's rules. They're way more
skilled.
Yeah.
Because the values are different. But okay, I told somebody else when I was having this Hall of Fame conversation, right? I asked somebody, actually no, I asked on my other podcast. I said, who in the 90s would you pick that was a Hall of Famer that would not be a Hall of Famer in today's game? I picked John Stockton. John Stockton would not be a Hall of Famer in today's game because the values are different, especially from the point guard standpoint. He wasn't really like a premier elite scorer. Could he score? Yes. Would he be a good player? Yes. Would he be a great Hall of Famer? I don't know. So I'm going to say no based on what his production was back in the day.
We can't do that anymore just because of how loose the Hall of Fame is for them.
And I wish I could have did it earlier. I don't know if the outcome would have been different, but it was a difference and beat me down a little bit.
All right. Anyways, we can move on from there.
All right. So,
I think it's
this one's for you.
What's me?
Quick out.
Oh, it's for me? No, it's for you.
I know.
Oh, it's me asking you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I was thinking about this, James, because I got this interview lined up for you. That's why I said off air, I can't wait to hear some of your questions.
Mm.
And I thought about a question. I thought about a question for you. I was like, James, you believe Messi's number one, correct?
Yeah.
Can Ronaldo surpass Messi?
No.
Why?
All right. So Ronaldo is older than Messi. And
I don't know ages, so you got to tell me.
Yeah, he's older. And I don't think that he's going to – I'm not sure. He might play in the World Cup if his legal situation is resolved. Because, for a while he couldn't step foot in the U.S. He's going to get arrested for something that we ain't going to talk about right now.
Okay.
But when you look at the GOAT conversation, for the longest time, it was always, is Messi better than Pele and Maradona, right? It was never, is Ronaldo better than them?
I can't even spell Maradona. All right, go on, keep going.
You would love him, actually.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Is he black?
No, Argentine.
But
the thing is, right, so Ronaldo was never there. It was more so like the fans, like if you got Messi fans and Ronaldo fans, right? And they always clashed. It was like Messi versus Ronaldo. But then it was never Ronaldo versus Pele and Maradona, like the other, like the two ghosts that everybody's like, yo, they were them. It was Messi and them, and then Messi versus Ronaldo because they're playing at the same time.
Got you.
So Ronaldo hasn't won the World Cup. He won the Euros. Like, congrats. He wasn't on the pitch because he got hurt. So
So, quick question. I believe I saw a documentary of Ronaldo. I just can't remember if I saw it on Netflix.
Yeah,
but I saw
it's one on Netflix.
and there was like a soccer award He wasn't
The
getting
Ballon
it.
d'Or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many more does Messi have than him?
A few. Look, so the other part is like the other thing that I just saw.
Mhm.
They were like, yeah, this player has this many awards and all this other shit, and it was a lot. And it was like, damn, this player is like legendary, right? So look, I'll put it in football terms for you, right? I'll say, all right, you got this mysterious player that has 3 MVPs, 2 Super Bowls, top 50 in like touchdowns and receptions and all that stuff. And you'd be like, damn, like, do you think they would be in the Hall of Fame if a player had all that stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Now look, they were like, they listed out all these stats. And they're like, what player is it? And people were guessing. They're like, no, that's the difference between Messi and Ronaldo.
All right, so does he do? Do
you understand what?
No, I understand what you're saying. So
right.
let's do it even.
That's insane.
Or let's do it even better.
All right,
and then we could really close out.
All right.
If we was to put it in yardage, like a race, I remember with the editor, he had me dying because he just switched up the tone on the phone on me because I asked him about like, you mean who we were talking about? I can't remember. We were talking about somebody, and I said how many more yards? Somebody will have somebody anyways. And so he thought it was all about me and him in a race. He said, boy, I'm right there with you.
What? Bro, what are you?
So let's use it like a race. Like, is it like Tyreek versus Wells Worker? As far as that's how far Messi got Ronaldo, or is it Tyreek and Tegan Jr.?
I can't do that.
Oh, why not?
Because look, here's the main difference.
Okay.
Ronaldo is elite in certain aspects of the game of soccer, right? Scoring goals and
no. I know that. I'm talking about surpassing. Surpassing him. Like how many yards behind is he behind Messi? 10, 15, 20, 5, 3. I'm asking that.
It's impossible to do because if you look at their body of work already so far. Like it's like Messi's running a race full body, and then Ronaldo's running with one leg. Ronaldo doesn't have a World Cup. So you can't even be here.
So he's not even on the field. Sound like he's not even on the field.
No. We can't disrespect him like that, right? Like we don't want to disrespect Ronaldo because he's done a lot.
Oh yeah,
and he is legendary. He's just not. He's not at that table.
Okay.
Because the things that Messi can do on the pitch is something that like you don't see.
Okay. That sounds like
and look, here's another part. It's kind of like if you and I were voting on the best player in the NFL, right? So we got our own award, but then the players are voting too. So all the players vote for one player to be the best.
Gotcha.
What has more validation, like between me, like our award or their award?
No.
That's kind of like if you look at the players from multiple generations, you look at all the coaches, they all say Messi.
That means we got to speak about A-Rod because I feel like I had a conversation. I'll have A-Rod in my top 5 all time. But we can say that for a pod for another day.
I mean, I'm not mad at that. It's just who you had in the top 5, which is wild.
Why? Again, we could do this all here.
Yeah.
All right. That was a great show. Nice live one. Thank you for coming on.